You know how you've been asking for clarity in the situation that you've been in? That situation that just didn't quite make sense, that thing that happened, and you were just like, why did that just happen? I thought things were going in this one way. Well, the moon and the ace of swords have popped up here because spirit wants you to know that that clarity is coming. Okay, there was some fog over it because I'm getting that you weren't ready. You weren't ready to hear the truth. We all go through it, babe. We all get these moments where we just think we're smooth sailing, we're kind of living with blinders on, and we're just cruising along. If this resonates, I want you to go ahead and claim this message in the comments. Accept and receive with gratitude. Ace of Swords, though, is going to kind of hit us out of nowhere. Like, it's not just a slow, easy realization. It's a, are you kidding me? What? Kind of smack in the face energy. It's intense, but it feels good. It feels like things are finally making sense. Like there's an order to things that you couldn't have seen before. You were just not in a place where you could have made sense of this. And it took all of these things and in the order that they occurred, in the amount of time that it's taking for these situations to roll out. The timing matters. The timing is not our control. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't jump timelines when we make the right decisions, when we're on a point, when we're doing what we're supposed to do, we're taking all the messages, we're paying attention to those synchronicities, we are on top of it, we're following the guidance of the cards, we're feeling what resonates, we're ignoring what does not, we're vibing on what feels good, we're ignoring what feels not for me, we're not chasing things that don't belong to us. That doesn't mean that that can't happen. What it means is that it's not going to come until you're ready for it. So you weren't ready for it at that point, but spirit says you are now because you rolled with the punches, because you took them and you swallowed your medicine, right? You got knocked down and you stood back up and you kept on going because that's all you know how to do anyway, but you've been doing it for so long. It's like you're like pro at this, right? You're a pro at this. That's what that Ace of Swords comes hitting you with now. That clarity is going to resolve a lot of your confusion and it's going to give you that sense of direction so you're going to know what steps to take next. Now, this message comes up for another group of the collective from Spirit. Spirit wants us to know that whatever it is that we need to let go of, it's kind of holding us back from what's next because you're carrying a lot of junk with you and it's weighing you down and you haven't been able to let go of it because you're unsure of what's next because you thought that that's where you were headed and for whatever reason it changed, you know, whether the alignment changed, whether the other parties weren't on point doing what they were supposed to be doing. Whatever the case may be, the universe is going to align you with what is yours. So if you're holding on to this old situation going, well, why didn't that work out? And I want that. That's what I want. You're carrying that along with you. You're not trusting the situation. You're not trusting spirit. You're not trusting your guides to help you to the pathway that realigns you, that gets you back on point with what is going to be for you now. So we have to trust these things that we cannot see. We don't know what happened. And we're not going to know what happened in every situation. And you know what? I'm getting, you don't want to know. You don't need that. It was messy. It was ugly. It's not going to give you any sense of peace. It's not going to make you feel better. Oh, well, it makes sense now. Because if anything, it almost feels like it's going to be more confusing. Why would you need that? You don't need that. In fact, sometimes it's better to be far, far away, comfortable, safe where you need to be before you see the detonation of whatever it was that was occurring. Before you see the fallout for whatever it is that was happening for that other situation. You need to be where you need to be, not sneaking around, trying to poke around, figuring out what's going on over there. That's not going to do you any good. Spirit wants you to trust the process. Spirit wants you to let go of the what ifs, should have, could have, would have. No, none of that matters. Okay? You did what you were supposed to be doing in the time with the tools that you had available to you. Now you, of course, are smarter and wiser and more in alignment and more in tune with yourself. And when you are, you trust that spirit is carrying you to where you need to be. All of that fulfillment that you desire is right there. But you can't bring all those bags with you. You got to leave them behind. Okay, there is someone that is very much the target of someone else's attention. You know this, but it doesn't seem real. Now, first of all, put your insecurities aside, okay? You don't know what it is that they're attracted to. But they've got their eye on you. They're admiring you from afar, and they've been doing so quietly for quite a while. I'm getting that this is actually, you had thrown this away. Like there was something there before, and you just weren't in the right place for it, or you weren't there for it. So it kind of sideswiped you. You kind of like missed the mark. They decided that they were gonna do what they needed to do, whatever the case may be. But for some reason, they just can't stop thinking about you. They're gonna make another pass, and this time you feel it. You feel very confident about it. You feel very much that you are in control of who you are. You are understanding of the energy that you possess, and it is that wisdom, that feminine receptive wisdom. When you are in your greatest sense of peace and you just need for nothing, and you just exude confidence, and you exude this kind of sensuality and security and tenderness and compassion naturally, because you don't need to push it on anyone. You don't need to force it. They see that, and that to them is like the safest place. It feels warm and secure, and like all their cares could just melt away in your arms because they feel it from you. But it feels authentic to them. And they were afraid of this before. They've been tricked before. So they were a little hesitant, I think, to push the issue. Now they're feeling very much like, if this resonates with you, go ahead and drop those angel numbers that you've been seeing in the comments. Because if you've been seeing them a lot and you've kind of had this like, am I being watched vibe? You are. You're being watched. But it's not because you're doing anything that you're not naturally doing. You're just being yourself. And you're feeling good about you, and you're doing what feels good to you. You're just being your authentic self. We're talking au naturel, baby. Okay, this is just, and that's why it doesn't make sense to you, because you've never had that kind of attention before. Okay, so it's new, it's fresh, but it's all for you. Many blessings.